Hello, darlings. I am Cassandra. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming. For those of you who are new to my channel, let me introduce you to the Jungle Beauty Goddesses, the life-size fabric sculpture dolls you see sitting behind me. I created these dolls myself, and as I was sewing them, they would not stop talking to me, and this led to my Jungle Beauty Goddess book series and my Jungle Beauty Goddess Oracle deck that I am going to use today to tell you a story about how the King of Swords betrayed the Queen of Swords. Yeah, so I was doing a reading, child. I just want to jump right on in this video. And I pulled first from my Jungle Beauty Goddess deck, right? And these are the cards that I came up. We have Jungle Beauty Goddess Chobby, and she said, you have the courage to stand up for yourself. Cool. The next card I have from my Jungle Beauty Goddess deck, Jungle Beauty Goddess Chobby, says, speak your truth with audacity. I'm like, cool, okay. Who do I need to tell off today? You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, she's saying stand up for yourself, speak your truth with audacity. And then I get Jungle Beauty Goddess Kalahari, who says, never apologize for loving with all of your heart. All right, cool. So then I decided to pull from my tarot deck, and I can't think of the name of it. I think it's the light something. But anyway, so this is what I pulled next. I'm just like, okay, let's see what the whole overall message is today. I pulled the Queen of Swords. This is how she appears in this particular deck, right? And then the next card I pull, shockingly, is the King of Swords. I'm like, oh my God, this is a love story, child. This is a beautiful love story. We got the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords, you know, coming out together side by side. I'm just like, oh, this is cute. This is how they look actually on my. This is gonna be a sweet little love story this morning. They're speaking their truth to each other. You know, each one of them represent the ability to, they use intellect and logic, reasoning. They are very non-emotional. They are intelligent and wise. I'm just like, this is about to be a beautiful love story today, right? Okay. So then I have this card that I pulled from the deck, the Four of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles is really about finding stability, like looking at, you know, she's holding on to her coins, you know, like what can we do to stabilize this relationship? So I see that they both in a lot of water, but they're not emotional. They use logic and intellect, and, you know, they're not wise and discerning, and they speak their truth. And we have cards saying, hey, speaking with audacity. And I'm just like, this is beautiful. They're trying to figure, they need to have a conversation about how to speak their truths to each other, on how to stabilize their relationship, how they're going to get together. Are you going to move to my side of town, or am I going to move to your side of town? What are we going to do? You know, I'm thinking, oh, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful story. So, you know, I'm nosy, right? So I said, you know, I wonder if, you know, there's something, I don't know, like I was hula hooping and something came over me, like, I don't know about this. Is that really what happened between them? You know, is this all there is? They have to, you know, never apologize for loving with all of your heart. Like, who's saying that? Speak your truth with audacity. Audacity means you know, you just like, somebody getting told off. And then she says, you have the courage to stand up for yourself. I said, you know what? I don't know. This may not be a love story. So I decided to pull some more cards from my tarot deck. Another tarot deck, child. And I just want to see what's going on with each one of them. So I would pull for her, and then I'll pull for him. Child, let me show you first. The cards that came out is that for the Queen of Swords, they got married, and the King of Swords he was, young and foolish. I'm not going to be able to show these cards, guys. It's just going to be very time consuming. And so basically, the King of Swords had an affair with the Queen of Wands. Yep. And when the Queen, yes, he did, y'all. This is what came up under him. And when he did this, the Queen of Swords had a tower moment. She was like, no, you didn't. Like, she found out about it. She was pissed, okay? Now, after he didn't slept with the Queen of Wands, all right, this killed her, right? So this broke her heart. He betrayed her, from what I picked up, at least in every lifetime. Let me get this card in focus. In every single lifetime, he literally broke her heart. He betrayed her. Every single lifetime. She kept forgiving him, and he just kept on breaking her heart, y'all. And you know what the King of Swords did? The King of Swords had the audacity to go into hermit mode. This is what he did. This is from the After Tarot deck. I think it's amazing. So I'm just like, okay. So the King of Swords cheated on the Queen of Swords with the Queen of Wands. She had a moment. She blew up. I don't know what blowing up looked like for a woman who was very cool and collected. Maybe it was on the inside. And that's what I'm thinking, that she blew up on the, she really didn't express her emotions in a very volatile manner. She was probably very sophisticated. And she used her words and her logic and her intellect to tell him, I'm going to, like you cheated on me. You hurt my feelings. That was wrong. But let me tell you the kicker to this story, y'all. Now, this is what really gets me about this story. You cheated. I'm talking about the King of Wands. The King of Swords. You cheated on the Queen of Swords, and now you want to go in hermit mode. So now you want to avoid your karma. Now you want to walk around, act like you're looking for truth and wisdom, and you trying to figure out, you trying to use, look for light and love and wisdom and become this sage. And, but that's just a cop out, child. I'm gonna try to be good. So basically, this is a theme. This is an archetype that I have seen played out a billion times in my lifetime, especially like in my family. Oh, I hope my family not watching this. But it's where the guy goes, he breaks the woman's heart, and then he finds Jesus. He goes to church. He reads the Bible. He becomes a really good person. I'm just looking for truth and wisdom, baby. I'm a hermit. I stay to myself. God forgave me. I don't know why you can't forgive me. I did my Hail Marys. I did everything I'm supposed to do. And, I'm just, hey, I'm a new man. What? So to me, it's like the King of Swords. He breaks the Queen of Swords' heart. He cheats on her. He destroys her. He stabs her in her back, right? And then he finds God. Now, his thing is, hey, God forgave me, so why can't you forgive me? But for her, she's destroyed. She is absolutely, who's going to forgive her? Like, she is having a hard time trying to figure out what to do with all her pain, all her emotions. Every time she look around, every lifetime she has forgiven him. She has taken this man back. And every time he cheats on her, he finds God. He finds religion. Right? And he gets into his hermit mode. He's like, hey, I'm a good guy. I made a mistake. Nobody's perfect. Right? And she's trying to figure out what to do with all these knives in her back and her heart. Every single lifetime, she forgive him. So that was the thing that I thought was so interesting about this reading. But the thing is, so I'm thinking to myself, I don't really think she should take him back. I don't. I think that's the problem, because when I read these cards, it seems like it's for each lifetime. The same story plays out. He cheats on her. He feels guilty. He goes in hermit mode. He asks God for forgiveness. He finds religion. He becomes this really good guy. She's stuck with all of this pain, all these emotions, while he goes around searching for truth, hiding behind God. You know what I'm saying? Not realizing that God is inside of him, child. But because he is using his ego, his logic, his intellect, and his rationale to say, okay, I made a mistake. You know, the Queen of Wands, she was cute, and I had to get with her. You know, I didn't mean no harm by it. You know what I'm saying? So she was cute, and I cheated on my wife. And I have asked, I'm a good person now. I found God. I think God needed, was it a buffalo? I don't know. A dove, unblemished cow. I don't know. But I have made good with God, and now I'm just a good person. And now I'm preaching, and now I'm just telling everybody else about the importance of being a good person and living a good life. The Queen of Wands is just going around just feeling completely broken. I mean, she doesn't know, like, how do I get my forgiveness from God? Well, like, how is she going to find her peace when the only mistake she made was that she loved this man, the King of Swords, with all her heart, right? She loved him with all her heart, and she kept forgiving him. He said he found God, he found religion. This is my thing. I didn't want to ruin my own, you know. I think that the Queen of Swords needs to pay him back. Because I think, wait, this is just, see, this is the thing. If the King of Swords is using logic and, you know, he's being very non-emotional to say, oops, I made a mistake. Who doesn't? She was hot. What am I supposed to do, right? I'm just human. I'm just a man. If those are the emotions that he's using, I mean, not emotions, I'm sorry, the logic he's using to excuse his behavior, and, you know, this egotistical, prideful, like, hey, I'm just human. I'm just a person. Hey, I feel like the Queen of Swords need to I don't want to say force, she needs to show the King of Wands, the King of Swords, that this, to me, in order for him to heal and break this pattern, he needs to feel emotions, not use logic to justify and his behavior. And I feel like even though he's taking accountability, but it's an intellectual accountability. It's, oh, this is what the world says. You make a mistake, you go to God, you go to religion, you ask for forgiveness, and now it's all good. I'm a good person, and I'm just going to say to myself, but you know what, and since he's staying to himself and he's not seeing anyone, then he can't get his karma, because, you know, how are you going to pay a man back who is not seeing anyone? So basically, the Queen of Wands, to me, she ends up hurt time and time again. I bet you, if you look in your families, you'll see a lot of this pattern. Okay. Now, I think she needs to sleep with the King of Swords, maybe his brother, maybe his boss, his best friend, or maybe if he's like in a competition or something and there's a game, or his mortal enemy. That would be even better, child. Oh, I'm sorry. Because I feel like he needs to feel something. Now, anyway, I don't know if that's really good, because, you know, players are used to playing. And maybe the reason he cheats is because he's already assuming that she's cheating, and he feels that everyone does it, and maybe it won't have the same effect on him. I don't know, but all I do know is when you're dealing with somebody who detaches from their emotions and use logic and reasoning and rationale and this coldness in a way to make decisions. I feel like, how can you be different? How can you make a different decision if you are not feeling, if you don't understand how you've hurt someone? I feel like the King of Swords needs to really get his heart broken so he can understand how he hurt her. And I think that the Queen of Swords, I feel like she needs to, like, seriously do the same. Like, she needs to use her emotions too. I mean, they're using intellect and logic, and they're speaking their, truth with audacity, and they are standing up for themselves using these words, right? But to me, I feel like she needs to, like, cry and, walk away from him and say, I'm not doing this with you anymore. And he needs to feel what it's like to have somebody cheat on him. He needs to feel what it's like to have somebody break their word to him, walk away from him. This is what the King of Swords, it would make him a better man, child. That is what I think. So I had to go to the cards and say, hey, I know Cassandra is in a kind of pissy mood because she's a little, thinking like, how is he breaking her heart like this and getting away with it? What advice do you have? I'm asking my decks, what advice do you have for this couple to help them move past this impasse? They're speaking their truth. He's betrayed her in a million lifetimes. He goes into hermit mode. She dies from a broken heart, develops an illness. She, just never really recovers from it. And the pattern plays over and over again because, like I said, they're detached. So the cards that I pulled were, it's just giving like pretty much straightforward advice. Seven of Swords, walk away. Like, gotta put betrayal behind you. Forgive and forget. Let it go. I'm just like, I don't know about that. And then another little sweet card said, he expressed your love, with gifts. So saying that if he buy her a really nice gift, the Queen of Swords would get over it if he buys her a gift. What does it say here? A small token of love can convey great appreciation. So basically the card's just like, King of Swords, go buy her a nice little gift. Everything will be okay. And then another card was like, you know what? He just needs to be honest, He needs to just tell her the truth, tell her how much he loves her, speak with love and truth. That's the thing about the King of Swords. He does tell the truth. Baby, I cheated on you with the Queen of Wands. She was cute. She had a big butt. I couldn't help myself. Will you please forgive me and take me back? I went to church. I did 3 Hail Marys, did 2 twists, 2 turns. Yeah, right. Right. Okay. Yeah, because that's the thing. He is telling the truth. But is his behavior changing? And then it was like, no, he needs to open his heart, right? He needs to open up his heart. Deep connections, this card is like pretty much saying, you need to like open up your heart to love, have, deep, meaningful, rich communication, tell the person how much you love. She's telling him she has loved this man, the Queen of Swords. Child, she has loved this man a million lifetimes. And every single lifetime, he managed to break her heart and stab her in the back. She just trusted him over and over and over again. So anyway, I wanted to know, I'm like, okay, they're saying all this stuff, like, like I told you, open your heart, buy her a gift, tell the truth, forgive and forget. So I said, so do y'all have anything to say to each other? And I used my Jungle Beauty Goddess Love deck to see if they had anything to say to each other. And he said to her, I think, let me get the cards in order here. He said the King of Swords said to the Queen of Swords to let love in. This is what he's telling her, right? And she says, sometimes love is not enough. Sometimes love is not enough, baby. So she's like, she sounds, she always say, I love you, I'm mad at you, and she takes him back, right? So then I went to my other deck. I'm like, come on, y'all, we need some advice for both of them. At first, to be honest with you, I didn't want to pull advice for the King of Swords, because I was just like, you know what, she needs to dump you for good, like for every single lifetime, because you're just going to keep doing the same thing because you're using logic instead of emotions. You need to feel what you've done. You need to have somebody break your heart in 1,000 little pieces and betray you, so then you'll know what it feels like, and then you won't do it again. But as long as you hide behind God and religion and meditation and vibration, I'm sick of that mess. But sorry. So this is the advice that the cards, I forgot which deck this is. I think it's my healing deck or something. And it's said for her that she should use alchemy. This is to take all of her hurt and pain, to find a way to transmute it into something beautiful, because she's very magical. So basically, they're saying, like, to the Queen of Swords, take your pain and write a beautiful love song. Take your pain and create something magical for the world. Use this pain as a way to, as a catalyst for something bigger and something better. Like, don't let him get the best of you. I agree with that, though. Like, instead of taking him back, I feel like she should use her alchemy, and maybe she should, write a list of all the characteristics of a decent man, all right, who's going to treat her right. And she should, and put it in her love area, or basically use this experience. It's like, I've had 1,000,000 lifetimes. I already know he's going to cheat on me. He's going to tell me he's sorry. He's going to hide behind God. He's going to hide behind his religion. He's going to say he's a changed man. He's going to do some meditations and some ohms and a couple, twists and turns. And, he raised his vibration. He's a new person now. Now he's a sage. You already know he's going to do that, but you need to transform yourself and make sure you don't take him back. That's what I think. You need to, look at your heart and just say, okay, what can I do differently so that I can have a different experience, so that I'm not experiencing the same betrayal with the Ten of Swords in my back every dang on lifetime with this man that I'm in love with. So she needs to use some alchemy to take what she has gone through, to transmute it into a big dream. Like, she needs to think about, maybe she could write a good movie or a love story or whatever. But I feel like she should look at this experience, and maybe she can help other women or other people not experience what she's gone through. But then the other card of advice that I received for the Queen of Swords is that she needs to get it and tap into her wild side. They're like, just get real sexy. Dress up like the Queen of Wands, child. Get you some nice lipstick, some eyelashes. Go dancing. Enjoy your life, and sleep with his brother, or his boss, or his best friend. Whatever you gotta do, girl. But okay. Okay. And then, so that was the advice the healing deck gave to her. But then the advice for the King of Swords is, and I agree with this, and I couldn't believe these cards came out, child. These decks are magical. One, it says that he needs to experience sadness. See, that's what I was saying. They say he really needs to experience sadness. There's, I feel like we live in a society where they tell us that you got to keep your vibration up. You got to be happy at all costs, right? You have to push aside all your negative emotions. I feel like my greatest lessons have come about after a good cry, right? There is wisdom in your pain. There is wisdom in your sadness. I'm not talking about intellect. Wisdom to me and intellect can be two different things. Intellect is like everything is rational, it's logical, and it's clean. Wisdom is like this deep knowingness. He needs to feel this. This is what she feels like. The King of Swords need to feel the sadness that he bestowed upon the Queen of Swords. He needs to feel it, y'all. And then the other card that I pulled for him, for his advice, was that he needs to put his ego aside. It says pride. He has a lot of pride. That's that pride, you know, like I went to God. God said he forgive me. You know, I did the stuff in the Bible. The Bible says you have to forgive. Like, no. You got to put your ego aside, your pride aside. You got to take accountability. You have to take responsibility for breaking her heart. You have to let her know that I know how you feel. And it's not about you just forgiving her, but about her just forgiving you. It's also about you telling her, not that God has forgiven me, but I am sorry. I'm so sorry I hurt you, and that I need you to forgive me, not God. And I made a mistake, and I'm gonna work on being a better person. And here are the things I'm gonna do in the future, child. When it's time to come home, I'm going to let you know where I am. I'm going to walk away when I see, like, you know, he needs to tell her the mistake that he made and what he's going to do differently. And then I feel like if he can show her that he cares about her feelings, not about God, because I think God is an excuse for people to hide. That's just me. I just think a lot of times people hide behind God and do some of the most atrocious things in the world to other people. But he needs to say, I need your forgiveness. And I promise you that I'm never going to hurt you again. I'm not going to put you in a position where you feel less than. I mean, this hermit mode, to me, is kind of like, it puts him in a state of, I don't have to live I don't have to live with my mistake. I don't have to look into your eyes every day anymore. I get to just walk away on this search and live by myself, so that I can avoid my truth. I can avoid what I've done to you. Say, no, I want to wake up every day and prove to you that I love you. I want to stay with you, and I'm hoping you will forgive me. That is what the King of Swords needs to do, child. But anyway, it was another card too that I want to say. I pulled this card because I was asking, like, what can they do? Like, should she take him back? Is it going to work out? And the card that I pulled as a final outcome was believe in the impossible. And it was just saying, so this was the outcome card, that this happens. It says that she is rare, and that your person is rare, whoever the person is, that you're not going to meet a person like that again, and that's why they keep having this cycle over and over again. But he could change the outcome in a blue moon, like, meaning like it's not something that's going to happen often, and it's very rare. But if he really does what he's supposed to do, and the stars will line up, then she will forgive him, and they will have a beautiful and wonderful relationship. So that is what I have for you. I know I didn't expect this reading. I didn't know that, so much treachery going on. But anyway, if you have had another story about what went down between the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords, child, leave it in the comment box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you, darling, in the next video.